think that a lot is being done under the ground. I know a lot of you who have been in China already. You should understand the Chinese government by now. You should understand the Chinese people by now, that they don't really go with pressure from international bodies or from international organizations. So when I do videos and I try to encourage people, I tell guys, there is hope, there is work under the ground. I'm like, no, there is hope. Yeah, there is hope for real. It might not be as soon as possible. It might not be in September, but the hopes for next year, in April next year, the hopes for next year are very high, especially with the rate at which the vaccination is going on in China. We think that by the end of this year, a lot would have been cleared and the green light will be very clear for students to return to China. You see, a lot of people are saying that if others can come into China, why not students? The people that are allowed to come into China are people that are given high priority, either to meet their families or maybe workers or diplomats with very high diplomatic responsibilities. These are only the people that are allowed to come to China now. Before they started issuing the PU letter, the PU letter is like an invitation letter for work, where a company can give you and invite you to China. But now most companies, they cannot even have the PU letters again. So it's not like they're biased for students. No, they're not being biased for students. Students are the most important, even if you want to look at it. The next group of people that were supposed to start coming to China were supposed to be students. But just before this was about to be considered, the cases started coming in so seriously. The second wave started, and the third wave. I think these are the reasons that made the students coming in to be shifted again to next year, because from all indication, we knew that this September 2021, students will be able to come back to China. Is there any problem Is there any problem if take non-Chinese vaccine like Moderna? Does it will create any problem? All right, for now, about the vaccine, my advice is that if you have the opportunity to take a Chinese-made vaccine, that will be very advantageous for you, because if they are giving priority for students to come in first, I think China will consider first those who have taken Chinese-made vaccine, because that is what was manufactured by them. That is what they trust. You see, so taking a foreign vaccine doesn't mean that it doesn't work or something. Maybe you might be considered towards the end. But if you want to be considered first, or if you want that you should be given priority when students start to come back to China, I prefer you get a Chinese vaccine, unless there are no Chinese vaccines in your country, which I believe that most countries now have access to Chinese vaccines. I think most countries have access to Chinese vaccines. Then also we have Anya Onal. I'm studying in Tianjin, and teachers say that this year it is difficult for students to come back. Yeah, of course, this year is really difficult. Yeah, this year is really difficult, but the hopes for September are very high now. The hopes for September are very high, because by the end of this year, China would have finished vaccination, would have reached not like vaccinated everyone, but they would have reached what we call the herd immunity, which means that above 80 to 90% of the population would have been vaccinated. As for me, tomorrow I'm going for my vaccine. Tomorrow morning, I already have my appointment of going for my vaccine, and I'm going to take a video and share with you guys that I've also taken my vaccine. So tomorrow I'll be going for my vaccine. So let the comments keep coming. If you want to join the stream, just click on the link and let us know. Then another question is saying, is there any hope to return? Of course, there is hope to return. We cannot say that students will never return to China. No, students will definitely return to China. There is hope.
There, and then cases are increased. Now cases are down in India. The situation in control in India. Everything's fine in India.
Oh,
Like in my state, it's all good now.
okay. All right. So, but now, what is the situation in India now? Can you tell us? Like, is it going up or is it going down? The COVID-19 situation in India.
No. COVID-19, it's going down, and the vaccination also going on. And recently, yesterday, India survey came, like 68% people achieve herd immunity. They have antibodies.
Okay, so but by the end of this year, a lot of people will be vaccinated, and China will have already gained immunity. So I hope it can be earlier. Yeah, that's why we are saying that we don't want to give false hopes. We don't want to give false hopes. By the end of this year, a lot of people would have been vaccinated in China and also in the rest of the world, but they need something. I was thinking, for me, I knew March was not possible. I knew deep inside me, I knew March was not possible, but I was strongly hoping for September, this September.
Yeah,
but now there is no hope for September, because that is, for me, the way I think that when students will be announced, they will give at least 3 months. That is for my own analysis. They will have at least 3 months to prepare.
That means if I understand, can be maybe we can go back maybe between March of next year or September.
From April. Just say from April.
From April.
The chances will be very high from April. From April to September, the chances will be very high. And other countries also.
Wow.
Other countries also would have,
I think like
vaccinated.
Like you explain now is much more because I think we have a problem of communication, because the way maybe Chinese communicate and students communicate among them is not the same way.
It's different. So you understand the logic. They cannot say let's allow students from a certain university or students from a certain country. They don't want to give that bias, section by section. Okay, say students from this number of universities can come first this month. Then after 1 or 2 months, students from another university can come. Then after maybe 1 or 2 months, students from another university can come. Like they can bring it in badges.
What you said now is very clear. What you say now is very, very, very clear, because everything is about like communication.
It's communication.
Like with students. Because me, if I didn't call you right now, I would still be in my mind like, oh, China is like that. China prefer maybe
students. No. They hate
students.
It's not that.
I realize that they don't hate students. Maybe it's like they're organizing something. What I can do, I can just wait till April or maybe September next year.
Just be doing whatever you're doing in your country. Yeah. Just forget about it. Just be doing your normal activities. If you can do your online classes, just do it. Just condition your mind that it will be September 2022. If anything happens before September, good.
Now then, I understand now.
Just condition your mind. Just put it in your mind that you will go to China in September 2022. It can be before that.
Yeah, it can be before that, because
it is a problem of communication. It is a problem of communication. You see, so I was telling myself, okay, why can't they break the students into different groups and say, okay, students from this section or from this particular university or from this section of the country, you can come now. Next month, another group can come. Maybe they will reach here. I said that I'm sharing it from my observation. The first thing that students should understand is that by the end of this year, China would have finished the round of COVID-19 vaccination. Because as of now, they are almost at 80%, no 50%, and the rate is going up so high. So let's say by December 2021, they would have completed the round of vaccination in China. And not only in China, other countries would have also speed up. Other countries would have also speed up their vaccination. Okay, I've lost you, but thank you so much for coming. You can continue to listen to the analysis that I'm doing. Thank you so much for coming. So let me explain what I was trying to say again. That will be Beijing Olympics. They will finish vaccination by February next year. Olympics will be over, and then you see that the coast will be clear for them to do other things. The coast will be clear. And then now they can look at the case of international students in a more clearer way. So that's why we're saying that, and it cannot happen so fast in March or in April. In March or in April, maybe a group of students might be allowed to come in, or maybe a few students might be allowed to come in. That's by March. Then they will see now the effects of the students who will come in March or April. Then now a greater number will be allowed to come in by September, or the rest of the students will be allowed to come in September. So I want to give like one very big advice to especially students who have not been to China before. I see a lot of people going online saying that students should not accept admission letters and so on. That's not a very good advice that I see a lot of other students doing. If you're a student who are watching me and you've never been to China before, accept your admission letter and start your online classes. That is an honest advice that I'm giving. Accept your admission and start your online classes. Accept your admission and start your online classes. Before you know it, it will be March and students might start coming in. Okay, yeah, you said you're from Pakistan, Black Shadow. Thank you so much. Accept this. Can we take admission for MBBS online? Of course, everyone can take admission. Of course, everyone can take admission. But they are denying practicals for the students who already are in MBBS. I don't understand. Denying practicals, like how? Can you explain more about this? Like they are denying practicals for students who are already doing MBBS? Sunflower. Please, can you say more about this? Like our country is not accepting online classes for MBBS. Oh, I understand. Like students who are doing online classes for MBBS, your country does not accept. Well. For this, I need to find more information because this, I don't really have more information on this. Which means that if you study online, your country will not accept your certificate or something. That's what you're saying. Oh, okay. I get your point. Another option can also be, if for real your country is not accepting online classes, then you can as well suspend your studies. Because for now, that is the only option. It's either you do online classes or you can just accept the admission. There are ways of accepting admission and forfeiting it rather than declining the admission. You get what I'm saying? You can say it now because I'll be ending the stream, and I'll see you in my next stream and in my next videos. Thank you guys so much for joining. Thank you so much for joining the stream. I'll try for us to be having streams like this on a weekly basis, like once in a week, so that if there is something concrete, we can talk about it. Today is Wednesday. Maybe next Wednesday, we can have another chat like this, and I'll share if there are any more information that we've got within the week. Rather than doing so many videos, I can just accumulate the information, and on a stream like this, we can talk about everything.